Okay, welcome everybody. We're gonna make sure that we have audio. This is the Order of Podcasters. And let's make sure everybody's mic is turned on. That's always a good thing. And we are going to be starting a new adventure today called Faire. I see that I have compound up on this thing because that's one of the things I forgot to do last time. Yeah. This is one of the fun things about streaming is that you notice things when you hit start that you didn't have before. But let's go around the room and introduce everyone, and we can, because I changed the order every time, we'll do it in the order of the stream this time, and start off with Brian. Jennifer. Okay. And welcome our guest for today, Mark. Nice. And what podcast do you have? Okay, hold on. We're gonna have to redo all that because for some reason that didn't go through. Hold on. Okay. Yep. Someone say something.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes. Something.
We run a tight ship over here. Can we do that again? I apologize. Hopefully everything should be going through now. But if we could run around the room again, and very quiet on the podcasters. Okay, I'll turn that up. And go ahead and list your podcasts along with everything, so we'll have that for the recording. Brian.
My name is Brian Hastie, and I co-host the Double Density and Coda podcasts, and I play Norman Johnson. I'm also the co-president of the Paul Haters Club.
That's fair. Which okay, I guess as we go, we'll figure out who the other president is.
It'll reveal itself in time, yes.
Jen.
I am Jen. I co-host Vanished, and I am the creator of In Defense of Liberty. I play Misty Showers. I am on the board of directors of the Paul Haters Club, but I'm not the co-president.
Rob.
I am Rob Kristoffersen. Oh my God, I have a gaggle of podcasts now. I've multiplied. I host the Our Strange Skies podcast archive. I co-host the Coda with my good friend Brian over there, and I am the DM host of Rolling Through the Realms. I am not the co-president of the Paul Haters Club, but I am the chief operating officer.
Mysteries abound.
Yes.
That brings us back to our guest Mark, who might already be the co-president.
Somebody's got to do it, right? I am Mark Eberhardt. I run Coruscant Nights, a Star Wars actual play, and The Other Place, a fantasy show that uses Genesis as its core system. And I am playing Dr. Dayton Ford tonight. I am apparently the co-president of the Paul Haters Club. I'm newly inducted, but I rose through the ranks pretty quickly.
Yeah, and so we just played a few weeks ago a Final Fantasy role-playing game here, but using the Genesis system, and that is completely your fault because listening to your podcast, I promptly bought a copy and started playing it on stream. So
I love Genesis.
it's amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
We I really particularly I mean I appreciate everybody's patience, but Mark in particular, because this was his first time with us, and we've rescheduled this stupid thing twice already.
Like,
It happens.
what's up with Texas, y'all? You and that cold, man, you just don't get along.
I know. I know.
In fact, when we get too cold, we can't stream. It's a rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of figured.
Absolutely.
I figured that was like written into the bylaws of Texas somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, without prying too much, whereabouts are you located in the world?
I am in Central Ohio.
Okay. So we got a
So-
good cross section of like northern people, you know, Midwest
Yeah.
people, and then like the losers from Texas.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, apparently,
Just saying, Matthew McConaughey is going to be your governor very soon, right? So
Yeah.
apparently there's the Gin Haters Club too.
no, she's fine. There's going to be a Whataburger near her. I'm going to be down there in no time. Like, don't worry about
I'm not in White Settlement anymore. There's that.
it. Yeah. She's
The
now moved into
unfortunately
inclusive city.
Yeah.
The unfortunately named.
The
Yes.
unfortunately named White Settlement, Texas.
Right. Oh goodness. All right. Before we actually roll into the adventure proper, we are starting collecting names for drawing. Here, I think we'll actually do the drawing next time in part 2 of Faire, but we're giving away this book, the Book of Unremitting Horror, which is probably backwards on the screen, but it's still creepy. And it's a book that's built for this system, but I was picking through it, and yeah, I think anybody who likes horror games or horror in general will get plenty of ideas from it. It is horrible in all the right ways. So if you are on stream, you can collect channel points and use them using the little channel point thing right below the chat bar when you have enough to enter. And the other ways to enter is to join our Discord server and just tell us, I want the book, and then we'll add another entry or reviews on iTunes or Podchaser, and just let us know that you've reviewed us.
You get an extra entry if you do say that you're part of the Paul Haters Club.
Yes.
Absolutely, double down.
Yeah.
But I am mailing the book, and so that might come with a response.
Yeah.
Will you be mailing it in that costume?
Yes, I will go to the post office
We want video.
That's content right there. Yeah.
in costume. I am not wearing my costume pants today, so I do think I will do that for when I go. to the
You're wearing
post office.
some pants.
I am
though,
wearing
right?
pants.
Okay.
The illusion is all an illusion. Like you could be. Who cares?
Yeah. We're well aware of the etiquette, the Zoom etiquette that most people observe. So, it's all good.
All right. So, what we're all here for is to order podcasters, or most of us. It is very, very, very early in the morning, and you all suddenly get Norman, Myron, and Misty get a notice on your proprietary Order of Podcasters app on your phone that you are needed very, very urgently. And what are y'all doing when you get that message?
For me, for Myron he's been a busy bee after the last adventure. Myron almost died. So he's kind of got this new lease on life almost, or at least it seems like it. So he's been working with the R&D department of the Beefits factory, and they're starting to roll out new product, which is, strange because they've only ever offered Beefits for however long that company has been around, since like the 70s. And they're offering up like beef jerky now. They're offering up sauces, and there's like TV dinner deals that are going on right now that have included Beefits in their product selection. He's also taken to going to the shooting range and just like getting some practice in with that. And
That's
he's
very,
put a
very
lot
wise.
of oh yeah totally. He's put a lot of time into Tri-Coastal, and instead of like the normal like Yahoo guests that he would be booking, he's like gotten more respectable guests. People if we're going to compare it to real world like paranormal experts, you got your Jock Blaze. He's definitely got people like that on. It just seems like he's almost kind of just wearing himself out, and then at the end of the day, he goes into his room and he researches. And he researches things that he shouldn't be researching. And there's a particular book from our first adventure that Myron's always had a copy of, and he's just been flipping through it. And the last adventure's just been on his mind so much that the draw of this book has kind of just taken over a little bit, and that's pretty much what Myron's been doing.
All right.
Well, Misty recently got a bad Yelp review on her candle making business, and she went into just a fit of rage. Sorry, but Myron, your studio is completely like trashed. It has candle. I thought it was you at first. So I showed up at your studio and I've been throwing candles at you. My new venture is, of course, making duck calls. And every time you go shooting, I follow you around and practice my duck calling. So
I'd like to just
Myron.
amend my original thing and say, Myron has also been looking at murder techniques, because he's definitely like at his wit's end.
I mean, you shouldn't have left a bad Yelp review. I mean, I thought I made the Beefits candle just for you, and you didn't like it.
So he's also been doing research on these murder techniques by Googling Misty Showers, just like all over the place.
Page 5.
Look,
Page 5 on the results. Yeah.
No, I started a blog, so now I'm down to page 7.
Yeah.
Don't
worry.
I'm just picturing like Myron, like in a lab coat, and getting beef jerky and tasting it.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. It's perfect. And then behind him, just hears, "You son of a bitch!" and chuck a candle at your head. And
Lord knows I have a lot of them. They didn't sell very well.
So in response to this, Norman has been reading books about SEO, and he's waiting to see like which of these people needs more help with the internet. He's also reading a book about ropes.
Will come in handy, I'm sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, you very quickly make your way in. The connections made. You do not actually see Lore.
Yes.
At all. You see one of the Mr. Verities that you've worked with fairly often, which is the middle-aged woman, and she's like he's like, is it connected? Can you hear me? Hello? Oh, good. Yes, we've actually had 2 calls on the same topic, and so I thought to send you out right away. And yes, there has been a murder at the Juniper County Renaissance Fair, and yes, we actually have an agent on the scene, and you'll rendezvous with him, and also Sheriff South is there and specifically called for y'all, and so I guess hurry.
Well, we need costumes in order to blend in.
Yes. I've taken the liberty to arranging for them to for costumes to be available to you when you arrive, and you also have a cover. So I've arranged for Misty's candle making business to have a booth at the fair. And
I don't make candles anymore.
oh wait, what?
I don't make candles anymore. Can we get that booth? Like, I don't do that no more.
What do we have to sell?
Duck calls. I pull out a box of like 600 of them.
Okay,
I can get my hands
sure.
on like 100 feet of rope. We can make some rope. We can make some nooses. We could sell the nooses.
Well, yes, whatever is fine. There's somebody there who's going to help with the booth, so that will free you up to investigate more. So just
need to know. No. I need to know that somebody's going to be there that knows how to use the proper duck call technique.
Oh, for sure. He's an expert.
Okay. Is he? What's his name?
Lore.
No.
No.
The man is in the field.
Well, he's the only person we had available. You need to hurry.
Okay.
Laura's more useless than all of the nooses I've been practicing all weekend.
I like Lore. He's a good man.
They
And he
hate
looks
Lore.
like
This is why I do this to them. This is why there's a Paul hating
I'm
fan
the only
club.
one that defends him. Are you kidding me?
Although I have heard his duck call skills, and they're decent. So.
So shall we get into the minivan and go?
Yeah, so we're going to fast forward to the Renaissance Festival. You can think about what costumes Mr. Verity would have approved for y'all, seeing as she has no idea what would be good, quality, or appropriate. And let's jump over to Dr. Ford. What you are already there.
Yes.
And so you have so we've met Sheriff Dakota South before, and he knows about Ordo Veritatis. Now, kind of the rule of the field is, even though you know, you don't talk about it. And so it's kind of, but y'all are all understanding. He knows who you are. And so he's letting you in on things. And there has been a murder discovered late in the night. And had you already arrived, and were you like part of the camping crew overnight, or did you come in this morning?
I think Dr. Ford would have come in the morning, probably very early.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what cost? I'm assuming you're in costume.
Oh yeah.
What is your costume like?
It's a sort of off-white puffy shirt under a leather tunic.
I have the off-white puffy shirt. It's
yeah, wide open. Leather pants. A lot of leather.
Yeah.
He is not really one for adventure, but he likes to think of himself sort of as an Indiana Jones kind of guy. When he's not here, he's wearing the leather jacket. So yeah, leather.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you? What have you come for?
Dr. Ford is he obviously has his doctorate. It's in history. He's always been one for the more fanciful elements of history. And when he is not teaching, like when the Ren Fest is happening, which is usually like late summer, he comes here to tell stories.
Okay. All right. Well, they have set you up this year in kind of a new section. It is kind of the Norse alcove,
Okay.
and
Is it the like shipwreck stage? It's like a big, not big, but like in the shape of the bow of a boat, maybe.
oh, that's
Okay.
absolutely what's happening.
Cool.
And they've actually put the falconer in that section to draw people to the new section. And so you're like at the entrance of the alcove, and so you're like at a prime spot.
Cool.
And so you've kind of ever since the discovery of the murder, Sheriff South has sought you out, and without being too obvious, has kind of let you in on the details. But he's getting a call that the other members of your team have arrived and have gotten dressed appropriately. So what are y'all wearing?
Being the only woman, I was probably given some sort of corset, which I hate, but I'm wearing it anyway.
I am wearing whatever I usually wear, right? So very boring clothing, but I have a tri-corner hat on.
Nice.
So I definitely stick out because I think they scrambled last minute, but they messed up a little bit. I'm actually wearing a kilt, and I'm wearing, like the appropriate Scottish clothing. I thought about a bagpipe, but no, they didn't supply me with one. But that's fine. We'll get over it. But yeah,
Myron, should we go shopping?
No, I'm cool with the kilt. It was either that or a horse, and I mean,
All right. So you've actually come in just before opening. And so the sheriff, the deputy who you recognize, it's Deputy Lyle, has let you in, and it's the whole place is now just completely empty. But you soon run into Dr. Ford and the sheriff. Now, do y'all have y'all worked with Dr. Ford before?
I've only worked with him like in my day job as a process server. So like he and I have like a bit of a terse relationship because he knows how I am.
Nice.
That's fair. That's fair. Literally, that's fair.
Sheriff Dakota South is kind of a lanky guy, and kind of wears all brown, and his sheriff hat is a cowboy hat, and he comes up and is like, oh well, appreciate y'all getting here so quick and all. If you'd like to check out things, you can come with me. Y'all know each other?
Yes.
I look at them.
Vaguely.
I feel like a man out of time. It's great.
All right. So you notice that you're kind of being trailed by a professional looking woman. And the sheriff says, she works with the fair here. I don't, she's, we of course requested that they go ahead and shut down for the day, but considering they're not open that many weekends per year, she demanded that stay open. So we've just, kind of blocked off the section we need to block off, but it's kind of over here. I guess they say it's the Norse area. This isn't my thing. Y'all are going to have to help me out.
This isn't your thing, Lore?
This is the sheriff.
Oh, sorry, the sheriff. Sorry, I thought the share like Lore was talking with.
Oh no, you haven't run across Lore yet.
Oh,
Sorry.
So we know he's lurking then.
Mm. He's out in the field somewhere. Yeah, well, yeah, we totally know what we're doing. Absolutely. Yeah, we know this stuff.
As you're saying that, are you like fiddling with the kilt and trying to adjust it?
Oh yeah, like I'm just like, ooh, it's oh my gosh, it's flowy. Ooh, it's flowy. Sorry, let me get a hold of myself. Yes, Norse runes. Totally know about those.
Dr. Ford hasn't worked very many cases before, so he's more interested in seeing how these three handle things. So I think he's sort of trailing off to the side just a little bit. He's been back there at the scene before, but wants to see what the three of you think.
All right. Well, as you're actually going to pass through the Norse area, and you do see Lore. Now Lore is the kind of keeper of all the knowledge of Ordo Veritatis, and is much maligned by our players. But he if you picture Brent Spiner from Independence Day, that's Lore. And so you see him kind of like at a booth, frantically looking around, even though there is nothing there. It's just an completely empty table. And he kind of spots y'all, and it's like, oh, yeah, did you bring the candles?
Hey, sweetie, I told them to tell you we're doing duck calls now. Have you been practicing?
Oh, you're doing duck calls?
I hate you,
awesome.
Lore. Okay,
What?
good.
I duck. Wow.
Okay, look, I give.
Wow, that was harsh.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah,
Listen,
dude.
I've had a bad day. You didn't happen to be on Yelp recently, did you?
No.
Okay, good. So here's some duck calls.
Oh, great. And he will grab one and kind of inspect it, and then put it to his lips and do a perfect duck call. So, can you give us an example of what it sounds like?
Okay, no, I'm gonna have to.
Really,
I can't laugh or it
really
won't
good.
work. I can't laugh or it won't work. Okay, all right. Let's try again.
Very nice.
There we go.
That is a duck, says Norman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was their feeding call. You don't want to hear their mating call.
No.
This is
I never want to hear it ever.
Lore seems really, really excited, and then looks up across the kind of the alcove to the stage where the falconer is setting up. It's like, this should be fine, and just takes him back and starts setting him out. And so y'all are going to go past through this section to this part toward the back that is just like a little opening into the woods, and it's labeled as a garden, with a little trail through it, but it does have police tape up, and to not let anybody in. And so as you go through, there's a lot of officers kind of milling around, looking at things, and you see toward the back there's a body laid out, and it is of a young woman, dressed in actually just like her regular street clothes, and she's laid out in a circle of flowers, and there are also flowers that seem to be deliberately laid out on her chest and stomach. And the sheriff will say, that's why we called you. You know, there's been rumors of, you know, occult activity, you know, always kind of spinning around these events, but whenever murder happens and these flowers are laid out in a rune symbol, figure it might be worth at least giving y'all a call. And Dr. Ford, you thought the same thing. There's always whenever there's the fair come through town, there's always like little groups of would-be witches and stuff that do little ceremonies. Most of them don't even know what they're doing, but could be dangerous nonetheless. And so when you saw that, you thought it might be at least good to investigate. The symbol that is made out by the flowers is a straight line down, and then 2 diagonal lines off one side that make it kind of look like an F. And y'all would know it as Fehu, which is the symbol for like wealth and new beginnings.
And
how does it look like the girl died? Can we tell?
Yeah, it looks like she's been strangled.
Okay.
how many flowers are we talking about here?
On the body, there are probably 6 or 7.
Okay.
And they're really long stemmed, but it's the flowers themselves that seem to be making out the symbol.
Okay. And do we have like a time of death? Approximately?
Yeah, if you can either ask or investigate, but in either case, she has probably been dead for at least a day.
Okay.
Now you know that this is like the opening day of the festival, and there were people who came yesterday afternoon to camp. And for reference, behind this garden is a fence, and behind the fence is the campsite. And so you know that people have been filing in since yesterday afternoon, probably a little after lunch, but it is pretty clear that this person died prior to that.
I assume that the campers, though, have still been questioned as to whether or not they saw anything.
Yeah, they're starting that. You know, most of them, pretty much all of them were either on the road or at least claimed to have been on the road or finishing up work and for the week.
How long have the employees been there setting up?
That time has varied, and so especially the big shops have been there since earlier in the week. Certain performers, Dr. Ford, can come in the same day, and that's fine. But the places that have a lot of merchandise and stuff have been kind of shipping in for several days.
Is the well-dressed or professional-looking woman still hanging out on the sidelines, and would I know her?
You have probably run across her before.
Okay.
And her name is Stephanie West, and she runs PR and social media and in all for the festival.
Does anyone have any like forensic abilities? Like, can we tell if the body's been placed there post-mortem?
All right. Yeah. Who has? Yeah, that could be forensic anthropology.
I do.
Okay. All right. So as y'all take a look, there's gonna be a couple of things that you notice. First of all, just starting your examination, and one has nothing to do with the bodies, but as you're getting closer, you're realizing that all of these flowers that make this circle, and also the ones on her, are actually made out of wood, and they're very, very, intricately carved to look like different flowers, and painted, to make it look like it from a distance.
Okay.
The body itself was clearly strangled, but you also notice several small bruises on her. That it looks like like something had like pelted her a number of times. You do think that she was probably moved, probably just to arrange her so that she would be inside this circle, but you don't think that she was like brought in from afar.
Okay. So in that case, then should we then talk to the PR person and like maybe get a list of vendors who are on site ahead of time if she has one?
Oh, so I accidentally pulled out my headphone cord, and I thought I just totally stumped all of y'all because I was like hearing nothing. I was like, oh, we're in trouble here. I'm gonna have to give him some. I just wasn't hearing. What did y'all say?
I just suggested if the PR person is like known to us, if we can maybe ask for a list of like vendors or something. Or maybe like she can give us a breakdown of like, let's be honest here, whoever's gone to a Ren Fair or anything, like, their beefs.
Since Dayton vaguely knows her, would you maybe like ask Dayton, and Dayton could go over and
let's do that then.
Okay. While you're investigating. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he walks over to Miss West and says, Miss West, we would like a list, if possible, of vendors who have set up early, who have been here for a while. And if you happen to know any grudges between people within the fair itself, I know things happen once in a while. It would be helpful if you could share that information with us.
She kind of looks at you and goes, I thought you were a professor.
Oh, I am. I'm a bit of a Renaissance man.
Wow. Are you working with the cops?
Yes. Sometimes I consult.
That's amazing. Wow. No, yeah, of course. And she's actually already prepared that because the cops have asked for it as well, and so we'll just give you a copy. Just for the sake of not having to question every single vendor in entire Renfest, we are going to focus on this alcove. Because otherwise this stream would be very, very boring.
Well, I'm settled in.
Like, if we can't go to lunch anywhere, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
There is, in part of that list is there is a restaurant and bar that actually has a balcony that overlooks the stage, and also just various vendors, and so that I you'll have your pick of fair food, which is probably the best food we've eaten on this show, considering the other places we have been.
But the problem is this: we don't know who's out to poison us.
Yeah.
So I think we may need to go take a lunch break off.
We have to go off site.
Yeah, we have to go off site. Yeah. But more seriously though, the pub with the the trash that like looks over, like, can we see the murder site from there?
No, that faces
Okay.
the other way.
Okay.
There's a very, very big shop, the kind of the biggest shop in the alcove between you and the stage, and that restaurant is actually on the second floor of that, and then it overlooks the stage.
Okay.
Did and you may have said this, but do we know the identity of Dead Girl?
Yes, they her name is Rebecca Burke.
Is she a Ren Fair worker?
No.
No.
They did track down that she had pre-purchased a ticket for the weekend, and camping, so had intended to come.
I won't lie to you. I almost literally just Googled her, like, IRL. And I was like, let's see. But what I meant to do is I meant to pull out my in-game phone and look her up.
So should we then go look at the camp area to see if she's got a tent or whatever set up there?
Let's do that. And I'll what kind of a social media profile does she have, Paul?
Not a lot of personal information. She did have some posts about looking forward to Ren Fair. As you go back in her pictures, she's been here every single year for several years, and always in costume, always kind of has like a goth look to her, and seems pretty dedicated to coming out.
Do we know? Can we tell from her social media posts who she might have been traveling with?
She never has like anybody tagged or anything on those, or anybody else in the pictures. She didn't have anybody labeled as like, hey, I'm going with Bob. I don't know.
Did she have a phone on her?
No, her phone is missing.
Oh.
Very important question. Renaissance Fair weekends always have themes. What is this weekend's theme?
Oh, dang.
Pirates. Get your wedding vows
Oh,
renewed.
you totally just wrecked his game. You just wrecked the whole thing.
I give up.
Barbarian invasion.
That's why he's the co-president.
See, yes.
Keep it simple, and it could be Vikings, but barbarian invasion.
Do we want it simple, or do we want?
We don't want it
barbarians?
simple.
No, we can't do it simple.
We can't do it simple. No.
This game is known for not doing that.
As many game masters as I have on this panel, I'd figure y'all would go easy on me, but you never do.
No, this is our time to get like revenge, not necessarily on you, but just to let out our DM frustrations.
Like, there are certain styles that, DMs have. Mine was last session. I depressed the hell out of all my players.
You did. Thank you for that.
So, like, wrecking your game, I think is definitely inherent in Order of Podcasters. It's just what we do. Like, whether that's going to a restaurant or whether that's spending 10 minutes in a hardware store that we didn't need to. This is the nature.
You're being told repeatedly there are no clues here. We were like,
Yeah.
are there clues on aisle 7?
I haven't heard the flute yet.
I haven't heard the flute either. Yeah. There's so many more clues to explore and discover here.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Love Weekend then? Everybody's getting their vows renewed. It's all couples.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, and I have a request. When we have all the clues, can I blow the duck call?
Yes.
Okay.
It's only fitting. Are we gonna get a reprise of Norman and Misty? We Are Married.
That's what I was thinking. is that we're gonna
I think
We're
pretend to
gonna
be
renew
American.
our vows. Okay.
There's been trouble in
Here for
paradise.
it. Here
Yeah.
for it. We're seeking to restore.
See, now I almost kind of want to redo my theme and kind of go that Trekkie route and like as if I'm there interviewing people for the show. I won't do that though because I really like this flowy kilt. It's very nice. It's nice feeling, you know. Just there's air there. I dig it. But I definitely want to go check the camp area to see if her tent is there.
Okay, y'all gonna go ahead and go.
Yes, we will go with him.
Okay. All right. So as you go to the fence, it is I don't know what they call it when they do this, but they put like the wood slats in there so you can't like quite see through it. But they do have like a vehicle entrance that has been opened for the police and all to come in and out, and so you can
So
go from there to
before
the
you go
campsite.
forward, I'm gonna totally mess it up and I'm going to initiate Operation Trojan Horse to get inside. There we go. It's gonna happen. It's you know, I don't know what I have. I don't have a fake horse to do it, but I'll make it work somehow.
Can it be a Trojan duck?
Yes, the
Okay.
Trojan duck.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So once you cross the fence, you get into the campsite, and there are the place is fairly empty now because besides there are tents and stuff that are set up, but everybody has lined up at the entrance to come in, and so you've only you're kind of getting there where there's not really many people around, and so you'll go to the designated site that Rebecca was supposed to be at. And there is nothing there. There's no tent or anything.
Oh.
Vehicle, anything that
No.
she nothing. So we can't tell how she got here.
No.
Hmm.
Are there people around in this camping area that we can talk to maybe?
No one right away, but if you look around, like out of the corner of your eye, you think you see kind of just like a rustling of the bush of like somebody scurrying behind a tree or something.
How visible is it?
Not very. That's this area is pretty heavily wooded. They've cleared out spots for the campsite and for the fair itself, but everything else has been left fairly wooded, and so in that direction, it's still kind of dark and foresty.
Dark and foresty.
I was running out of descriptors.
Oh.
This is why I re-record stuff in post.
So are we're gonna go ahead and just follow this scurrier, or what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm interested in the scurry.
Yeah, I am. Shall we each take maybe one or two of us go on one side, one or two of us go on the other side?
Pincer.
Flank the scurry.
Flank them.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go with my marital trouble wife.
Yes, and I will
That
go
leaves us.
alone.
No, I'm here.
Wow.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, you joined us. All
Wow.
right.
If
Dang.
you don't want to come with me, that's fine.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
You have to understand, Myron's very egotistical, right? So he will do it whether or not you want to.
I'm all about me. Like
No, that's true. That's
So
even
I'm
I'm headed in that direction. I just don't realize that you're with me. Like
Right.
you're either just slightly behind me or just out of my field of vision. And then I'll look over like, oh God, I didn't see you there.
well, I'm here. What are we looking for?
There's a scurrying. Shush. What was the word? We're hunting ducks.
Okay. All right. So y'all are flanking out both to the sides and
Mhm.
coming in at a
Norman and I are arguing the whole time.
Yeah, we're just like and like gently pushing each other, not like in a domestic violence kind of way, just literally
Yeah.
just in a very like like loving taps.
It
Want a
almost-
divorce.
Kind of like almost like that brother sister thing where you're just
Yes.
like barely
Yeah.
pushing on them just to piss them off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are the words "I'm not touching you" like?
Oh, they come up like several times. Yeah.
Like, have you ever wondered what happened to my last husband?
You mean the last real one?
Oh, for
Listen, we're here for a job. It's fine. I don't want to know because if ever I get asked by a court officer or a lawyer during a cross examination, I can't lie, so I don't want to know.
all right. So as y'all are very stealthily approaching, I say sarcastically.
So like I have this vision in my head of like Ethan from Mission Impossible when he's dangling and he's got that sound sensor on him, like so it's not going above a certain level.
Toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toast. Duck.
So you all of a sudden hear just like a sudden burst of noise as it's clear that somebody is hightailing it out.
Run, chase after them.
Yes. Running.
Okay. All right. So we're actually going to roll on session
What?
1. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is weird.
I know.
I wasn't prepared. All right. This is going to be
You
Paul.
know, we can tell, Paul.
This is athletics, but
Yep.
it's going to be pretty difficult because he's got a pretty good head start on you.
Does the
And
fact that I have a rope on me change anything if I try to wrangle him?
in the middle of a forest, that's
If we get close enough, like I don't like how like
I could give you that to you for flavor, but I'm not sure that's going to help very much.
deal, Paul.
All right, so you can spend athletics points toward this roll, but it is a 10 on a
Ooh.
D6. So
What?
Oh.
What? All right, I'm gonna spend all 5 of mine.
Woo!
I got it. I'm
all
running.
right, so you'll need a 5 or 6.
5 or 6. 4.
The only way I can do this is if I get 6 and I spend all my points.
Do it.
This
all
is
right.
the beginning. You'll know you're going to need those points.
No,
no.
we burn points for dumb reasons.
All
That's
right.
how we play this game.
All
Absolutely.
right, I'm spending all 4.
This is the adventure where everybody dies, apparently.
I shit you not, I rolled a 6.
Do you need only one of us to roll a 10, or do you want me to go too?
No, just
Byron
one.
got him.
Byron got him. Nice.
It's the kilt. It's aerodynamic.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
flowing mightily in the wind. I picture
Ooh.
it.
You can see me
I don't want to picture it.
like my feet kind of lifted up a little bit as I was going towards him, and
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
so aerodynamic and beautiful. And some people saw my butt, I know they did, but I got my man here, or woman, whatever it is.
All right. So yeah, this young guy, he's I mean probably 18, 19 is just running ahead of you, and he's just wearing like normal jeans and a t-shirt, and you come over from the right side as he's like looking over at the fake married couple who's arguing, doing that. You come up from the other side and just clobber him onto the ground.
Where you running to, you little punk?
running away from the people who are trying to get me. What are you doing?
What were you doing skulking around in the bushes?
The bathrooms are inside and they haven't opened yet.
You telling me that you were about to drop a deuce?
Drop a deuce? What are you talking about, man? What are you doing here?
We're asking you the same question. Were you trying to jerk off?
Are you whacking off right
Were you
now?
whacking it? Yeah, were you whacking it?
No. I was going from the camp to the front and I needed to pee.
Don't lie to us now.
So why are you running around the bushes if you need to pee? Couldn't you just walk like a normal person?
Where do you pee?
In a porta potty or, the nearby restaurant.
Norman does not pee in bushes. He
No.
will drive
No,
10 miles
Yes.
off site to
Oh, yeah,
find
yeah.
a bathroom.
1,000%.
Norman here is very specific about where he does his duty.
And
I
he
don't
most
have
certainly cannot poo in public.
I do not have a laissez-faire attitude when it comes to this kind of thing.
Doesn't have it with economics. Doesn't have it when he's going to the bathroom.
Look, what are y'all doing here? What do you want? Why are you chasing me?
I asked him if he knows or knew Rebecca Burke.
Who's Rebecca Burke?
I'm asking you who Rebecca Burke is.
I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know. Do you know?
No, I don't know. Do you know?
Kind of wish we had an insight.
Sorry,
hole here.
I don't know if my wife said it properly.
You have a bullshit detector.
Do you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have it too.
Yeah, if you have a bullshit detector, yeah, you know he's hiding stuff for sure.
Oh, sir, child, you don't need to lie to us.
Do you know what
Are
a
you
hog
gonna-
tie is?
Are you? Oh, see, you are gonna go the threatening route, but I was hoping.
Well,
I was hoping for compliment.
Misty
Yeah.
is gonna practice her compliments because
I
we
got
all
it.
know how well that goes.
I got it. I got this.
Oh, here
We're
we
just
go.
gonna pull.
Pulling up the web page now.
How to Talk Human, Part 6.
It is. No, okay. So I look at this kid, and I say to him, hang on, we're loading the page. Okay. I say to him, son, you have the best laugh. That's just such a beautiful laugh, and it's so inspiring. That's what I say to him.
Have we heard him laugh?
No,
And
and he's gonna go. Well, thanks.
oh, you're welcome.
Wow, you're nicer than that guy.
I know, right? That guy's an asshole. Can you just tell me, we're trying to get some information on, a girl who might have been camping here. Have you seen her? And I'll describe her. I'll describe her appearance too.
Is that the girl who died?
Oh, that's the girl. So you do know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm the one that called it in.
Really? So did you discover the body?
Yeah, I was camping here and I was looking through the fence
Yeah, go on.
and I saw her on the ground there.
Okay. So when you saw her, she was already
She was
exactly the way she is now.
well. I don't know how she is now, but
Okay, so I'll describe like did you see anyone else?
No, I didn't even know about the flowers. There's just like there's a lot of trees there. I just saw a body.
Okay. And when was this that you
This-
called it in?
This was like I don't know 2-3 this morning.
Okay. And can you just and then I'm not trying to
Wait,
accuse you of
wait,
anything.
wait.
I'm not trying to
Well-
accuse you of anything. Just what were you doing?
Misty,
Looking
yeah.
there at 2 or 3 in
What-
the morning?
Yes, young man, why were you out wandering around at 2 or 3 in the morning? It's a little dark.
Norman?
How did you see a body? How?
Well, there are lights in there.
I don't believe you.
And
And he's sort of like he walks away. He walks away.
I'm so
so I'm
sorry.
gonna.
I'm
let
so
me-
sorry. He's being an asshole again. Ugh.
So I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna be, a little more pleasant. What's your name?
It's Jerry.
All right. Jerry. I'm Myron Dripchin. Perhaps you know me from internet radio.
No.
Maybe.
It's
No.
okay. It's okay.
You don't
No.
you don't have you ever listened to a show called Tri-Coastal?
No. Are you on Twitch?
We're working on that.
Oh. I spend a lot of time on Twitch. It's the best place.
The absolute best. It's absolutely wonderful. I don't understand why we're not even on there. I'm making a note. I gotta contact Jimmy. So I take out that notepad that I had in the first adventure when I was writing everything down, and I just write down this kid maybe onto something. Question mark.
So
ask Jimmy.
So far, Norman has just walked away to check the lights. Myron is now thinking about Twitch.
Mm-hmm. It's the best platform.
Dayton approaches the kid. Now, I understand what you saw last night was probably a traumatic experience, but I need you to remember. Did you see anything else strange happening last night?
So a lot of the overlay on the Twitch stream just completely messes up when somebody drops out of the call.
Right. Yeah, he sent us a message. His internet just went down.
Oh, looks like he's coming back.
There we go.
All right, we will get everybody straightened out over the break because we're getting close to that point anyway. But if is there a way to mute? Anyway, Chad, I completely got thrown off by that, and Chad says I thought I had a stroke as the whole stream got messed up. So he says, he's like, look, no, I mean, I come out here like every year, and a lot of times, like, different groups go off and do weird crap, and normally, like, like sit in a circle and I don't know, they're praising Satan or something. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but it's entertaining. Just go, I don't know, just try to peek through the fence, see what I can see,
Where does this happen?
Well, I mean, this whole section's new, but a lot of times they like find like gardens like that, and so that's what I was, going over there. So they I mean, they just, you never know what you can find in the woods at at camping at Ren Fair.
This is true. So you've camped at Ren Fair before. Are there normally lights on inside the festival at night?
Yeah. I mean, the that little section, they I guess built over the off season. We're normally not quite that close, but yeah, they keep the lights on. I mean, it's not real bright, but
Would you know, are there certain people that she hung out with a lot that you have seen her with before? Or was she only by herself, or had you seen her before? You have no idea.
No, I never saw her before.
Okay, all right.
Did you recognize anybody in that circle of people?
No, well, they weren't there. I was just looking to see if I could find
I see.
somebody. Just kind of poking around.
So I'm gonna ask him if it's cool if I get his number, just in case we come up with any other questions, and we can text him, because I feel like, he might know something else. But we don't want to.
Yeah, he seems excited about that.
Okay. All right.
I mean, when you compliment somebody about a laugh you've never heard before, it's just
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
amazing.
And the next one.
You're using the
Go ahead.
compliment thing for the first time. You have no idea its power.
I'm super awkward with it too. Like, I obviously don't compliment people ever. So.
Okay. Let me hold on. Let me check. There might be a whistle on that one.
Wait, I want to do it.
Oh, yes, whistle it.
So that means we got to spend another 10 minutes in this area.
While this conversation was going on, obviously because my internet went out, Norman was just searching the local foliage for interesting anything, grubs, leaves,
Animal droppings.
animal droppings, yeah, bits of rocks.
Okay.
So he's now returned.
All right. Where were you looking?
Maybe like 10 or 15 feet away, like
Okay,
kind of
still
like
in
in
the
between
camping?
where. Yeah, still in the camping area.
Okay. All right. You do find a couple of things. You find like just here and there, like a little gemstone of one type or another, and from your occult studies, this is like something that that like different groups would use to try to channel power or whatever the case may be.
Is there a way to like easily identify it?
Text a picture of it to Lore.
You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna look at the phone. Like, well, we can still see him, right? So he's gonna look at the phone, just put it right back in. He's not even gonna respond.
Yeah, he's gonna like text back, respond IRL, please.
I'm right here, man. No, you find several different types.
Okay.
And so there's not like one overriding.
Okay.
You probably find a handful of them.
Okay. In that case, should I gather them for like fingerprints? Does it matter?
Do you have fingerprinting?
I do.
Okay. All right. You can you're definitely skilled enough that you're able to accurately lift fingerprints off of it, and you can I'm assuming there's a way that you can submit those electronically or just get them over to the sheriff or a deputy and they'll run them.
Okay.
Did they get any hits?
How long does that take?
Takes 2 seconds.
Are you
I know
making that
this.
up?
I am
No,
not.
it takes
Wow.
forever. No,
Wow.
it's like
The only literal lawyer in the chat gets questioned.
Do you bring those over and show them?
Yes, I am walking
Yeah.
over with them. Yeah.
Okay. Would I be able to maybe use textual analysis, research, something like that, to look at the papers that Miss West gave me and spot somebody who sells gemstones or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. There the main the big shop that I mentioned before will have that that sort of stuff for sale.
Okay.
And so you as far as fingerprints go, when those are returned, there are some fingerprints that I'll say there's one set that is just not matched. There is one that is the victim, Rebecca, and there is one that comes back on the name Marisol Garza.
Is that a name any of us are familiar with?
No, you don't know it offhand.
What about the police? I mean, why would they have her fingerprints?
A pot arrest from a couple of years ago. If you do take it to the police, then they will find the name on the list of people who were camping last night. And you'll have a very, very pretty mugshot of somebody doing like this.
Okay, when you say pretty, is that ironic?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, because I thought maybe
you're not allowed to smile in those,
No, but I thought maybe Myron would perhaps, enjoy a nice looking lady in a dire situation.
Just because you're fake married now you're trying to set up.
No,
your
I'm
friends?
talking about Myron here.
Apparently, Norman's turning into matchmaker. I guess I don't.
I highly suspect that Norman is attracted to this mugshot, and they just out of nowhere slap him across the face.
Oh, absolutely. That was kind of my next where I was going logically is for sure. Even in the stark lighting or whatever, he's kind of like there's a little bit of this going on.
Oh, so it's a pure deflection. You're just trying to hide
yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I will
want a divorce.
Until we figure out the house asset.
Don't make me get Bob Knobberson on the phone. I'll do it. I swear to God.
I will say that when I worked in the county clerk's office, I think 2 or 3 times the mother of somebody who had been arrested tried to set me up with the defendant.
Yeah.
I was
Paul speaking from experience.
Apparently, I was a little bit helpful, and they thought that's what my daughter needs in her life. Somebody
that works.
Some order.
Somebody with a job, and
someone on Twitch wearing a Ren Fair costume. Yes.
So I've got another fun story that I can add to this. So my father was a village justice for 22 years, and a friend of mine from college had gotten into. She had gotten a ticket for speeding, I think, or something, and she was trying to get out of it. So she requested that the cops show up and all that stuff. And to get out of it, she took me on a date. So yeah, I know how that goes.
I was hoping that there'd be a duck call there as like the punchline, but
oh. No.
Are y'all heading? If y'all heading, are y'all heading back into the fair? Are you gonna do anything else at the campsite? I think we had a duck call on.
We had a duck call, so I don't think there's anything else
we're good,
there.
okay.
All right,
so we'll go back in.
Y'all want to go ahead and hit a break at this point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me. I'll go ahead and mute y'all. And just mention as we're heading out that we are giving away this book. Please do look in the channel points to enter to win that. We will draw the winner at our next stream. But you can go ahead and enter now, or you can enter at the Discord server or by rating and reviewing us on iTunes or Podchaser. We do appreciate it, and we will be back in just a few minutes. All right, so y'all have come back in from the camp. You found a guy, Jerry, who had discovered the body. You had discovered several gems with you found some fingerprints on those, and now you've come back in through that that gate entrance, and so heading back into the garden where they are kind of moving the body out at this point, and still got a lot of cops milling around. It's kind of reached the time where the park is opening, and so you kind of hear the crowd swelling from a bit over there. The PR person, Stephanie, is asking Sheriff South if they could please just move the police tape farther into the forest, and so people can't see it just passing by, because then there's going to be a lot of questions and all. And he's trying to accommodate as best as he can, so it doesn't put her in a bad position. And so at this point, all the shops are open. Everybody's kind of coming in, and so I can. You still have the garden here, but outside, kind of everything is starting up. So, what do you want to do now?
I want funnel cake. Do they have funnel cake?
Absolutely.
Okay. I want funnel cake.
Isn't it a little early for funnel cake?
It is never too early
You
for funnel
shut your
cake.
mouth.
I definitely want a big piece of meat on a stick, some kind.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Same.
that. Yeah, that's it's got to happen.
Dr. Ford is able to point everybody in the direction of the best stuff, the best food in the fair.
Oh, you're definitely gaining points here.
Yep. I mean, we've had, trials and tribulations at Whataburger, CC's Pizza.
One breakfast place in Canada.
We did go to Denny's in our first adventure. I found that after re-listening to the first adventure again today, at least most of it, we did go to Denny's. So yeah, I totally
forgot
forgot
about
about
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
this food is about as nutritious as you normally get. So this is great.
for funnel cake and meat on a stick, absolutely.
They have those Italian ice things, like you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So good.
All right. So as you're coming out of the garden, you're coming out from between some of the shops, and Dr. Ford, you're going to notice out of the corner of your eye that on the kind of the wooden back of this one shop, there seems to be some basically some just really crude scrapes, making some kind of symbol out.
Mm-hmm. Do I recognize what they are symbols of?
Yeah, if you
meaning behind them. Yeah. So yeah, he points them out to the rest of the crew.
Yeah,
it looks like there may be some more runes over here. Shall we take a look?
I believe we shall.
And you do it. That is exactly what it is. It's a rune, and it is it's a 3-line rune, and it kind of makes out a P, but just without a curve. It's one straight down and then a triangle made at the top. And this is Wungo, and it means joy or ecstasy.
You said it's on the side of a shop?
Yeah, it looks like it was just like, somebody had like a pocket knife and
Uh-huh.
and just kind of whittled away at the back of the shop. It's it's not, it doesn't look official at all. It looks like somebody was just back here and did it.
Mhm.
It's pretty good size. It's still, probably about 1.5 feet tall, but very, very crude.
And what is the shop?
The shop on the other side is one of the food vendors.
Okay.
And just have this variety of stuff. Misty's probably on the front side of the shop right now.
Yeah, I'm right here. I've got powdered sugar everywhere.
I'd recommend the Scotch egg.
Ooh, getting that.
Would investigating the area around this, any foliage, anything like that, turn anything up?
Do you have skill in what would it be? Is scene? What is the skill? Is it scene investigation? I was grabbing the wrong book.
Probably not.
Don't see that on the list.
No,
Yeah,
it's
same.
not on the list.
I was thinking evidence collection.
Oh,
I
I
do.
don't have that.
Okay. You notice this is not part of the path. It's beside the path, but it's not part of the path. But you notice from a lot of the plants there that there have been at least one person, probably several times, kind of going into this area, and so a lot of the plants have been trampled, the grass below, and probably fairly recently.
And how close is this to the garden?
Probably not far. You don't get a good
Okay.
view of the garden from here because the trail kind of curves a little bit, but from the actual entrance to the garden, you're probably, I don't know, 15-20 yards away, so very close.
Can we ask like the shop owner or I guess anyone at the shop if they saw anything? Anyone graffitiing?
The person at the shop says no, that she just got there a couple hours ago.
You probably should pay closer attention. Someone's graffitiing your shop.
And the person up front's like, I mean, I guess I don't know. Do you want to talk to the manager?
Yes.
Gosh, such a Karen. Hold on.
Misty, we don't need to do that. But if you wish,
You could go ahead and blow the thing. That the manager didn't know anything.
so what do we want to do with all this?
I'm going to send pictures of all of it to Lore, mostly just to troll him. But hopefully he'll have some information.
you hear Lore go, huh? Well, that's interesting. And then he'll text back a little bit later. As you're kind of getting into the main area, it is a lot more active. So some of the main shops, I've mentioned the stage. I've mentioned the big shop with the bar on top of it that overlooks the stage. Then there's the funnel cake place. Very important. Your shop, where Lore is, seems to have picked up a crowd, and he is like, they're trying to ask him questions, and he's trying to text right now, and he's like, "Hold on, I'm texting," and
I'm trying to help. I'm gonna rush over. I'm gonna try to help. I'm trying to make some sales here.
Dayton also rushes over because even though everybody here hates Lore, Dayton thinks he's kind of cool because they have common interests.
Other stuff that's around, you do see there is a guy who is walking around just like he's like a tall, big guy, muscular dude, and he's got like this long blonde hair, and he's got an eye patch on. And Dayton, that this is this is just one of the cast here, and he's playing Odin for the Norse area, and so he's walking around and laughing with people and calling out to people. He's doing a great job of kind of getting people riled up. On the other side, you also see a little shop that advertises that they will read your future on the runes.
Oh, I want to go.
And there's a young woman that's standing out front of it, and she's dressed in kind of these dark reds, and is kind of looking around. So if y'all are approaching, she'll kind of smile and say, oh, come in, have your fortune told. I'd be happy to. And then she stops and she just looks at Myron. Says, you.
Me.
Come inside.
I come in. I follow her.
Okay.
I look at everyone else and I'm like, do we go in with him? Like, I don't want to disturb anybody.
All right. Are y'all going in with them?
I guess so.
Are we all just standing outside trying to listen, maybe?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that's not
I'm just
awkward.
trying to eavesdrop.
It's not.
It would just be
awkward at
kind of
all three of
awkward.
you at the door.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
All right. So, going in, this area, it's like a permanent building, but it's made on the inside to look like you're inside a tent, and it's very small, low lights. You notice like there's a layer of fog on the ground, and I move my notes. Don't ever move your notes. She sits down on the other side of the table, and there's just this black cloth over the table, and you see several stones laying face down on the one side, and she takes her hand and kind of swirls them, and she says, there's something about you. I'm Cassandra. A reading will be $10.
I pull out my wallet and I just hand it over. I actually do it like really quickly. It just seems important.
She kind of closes her eyes and in hums this kind of haunting song, and every once in a while she swirls her hand. She pushes a stone forward, and she pushes one as you're looking at the table to your left side, and she stops her song and says, "This is for the past." And then she swirls more and she puts one on the right side, says, "This is for the present." And then one in the center says, "And this for the future." And then slowly she reaches to the one on your left and flips it over. And it looks like a greater than sign to you.
Okay.
And she says, "This is Kenaz. This room is like a torch showing you the way. When it shows, your way is clear, your destination ahead of you. But here, it is shown in reverse, suggesting to me that you are not sure of your way. You have been aimless lately, torn between directions, but not sure which one is right. You are like a man in the dark, walking forward. But where your direction will lead, you do not know." She reaches to your right and flips it over. And the symbol looks like a plus symbol, except the cross is a little bit at an angle. Nathiz, the old poem says, trouble is oppressive to the heart, yet often it proves a source of help and salvation. Now is the time to know yourself and what you are capable of, because it would be very easy for you to overstep yourself and land in more trouble. Yet, that is easier said than done, because when there is trouble, clarity of mind often is not. Consider your steps carefully. And
I nod.
And lastly, she turns over the one in the center. Pertho is a source of recreation and amusement, but to the great. Where knowledge is sought, there is also transformation. Perhaps warmth and comfort. The gods may cast the dice, but it is for the great to rise to their fate. There are some who think that this room tells of a reckoning coming. Some say it is an omen of good fortune. I prefer to think of it as an initiation. Once the trial is passed, your place is secure. The reward obtained.
I'm just kind of deadpan this whole time, like really focused on what she's saying, what she's doing. Knowing that I think that everybody outside is like listening in, some, like,
Norman's a really loud breather, so I'm sure you can.
he is.
Unfortunate but true.
Yeah. I'm just going to thank her, get up, and walk out of this tent or whatever it is.
Okay. Cat attack.
Mhm.
And then I walk out. What does it look like when I walk out and everybody is doing, like, how do you all look as I'm walking out here?
Were y'all all like leaning in and then like suddenly back up? It's like, whoa, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
so-
Misty and I didn't even bother like shoving each other.
Dayton's kind of leaning back. He maybe was listening vaguely, but also scanning the crowd just to see if that Marisol pops up somewhere. I don't think he caught everything that was going on the inside.
And the first thing that Myron does is he says, "You two aren't very subtle."
No.
Sorry. So
Do you
that was
wanna
talk
weird,
about-
huh?
It's a total ripoff in there. It cost me $10.
Do you need to talk about one of your feelings?
don't have any left there, Norman.
That's good. It was gonna get real awkward here if you you had done that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was weird.
Nah, just seemed par for the course, really.
Okay.
And then Myron's gonna kind of just keep to himself. He's just gonna
He's just gonna leave for the rest of the adventure.
yeah, just kind of like he's clearly thinking, but like he's looking over at everybody to see if like they're looking at him as he's doing it, like whenever he's doing it. So
Chat says Myron needs some flattery to feel better.
Okay, I'm gonna make Myron roll a dice though.
oh, we're gonna roll a dice. What are we rolling?
I guess roll a percentile. Can you do that? Do you have that with
Yeah.
you?
I do. Hold on.
Sorry, I'm not even the GM. I'm making people roll dice.
Yeah, you are. 49.
49. Okay. I see how distressed Myron is, and I feel really bad, so I like pat him on the head and I say, Myron, I'm really, really glad we met. And I look at him like, did that work?
And I look over and I'd be like, what websites have you been perusing? My God.
I don't know. I mean,
Look, I'm fine.
good.
By the way, Lore has written back. I did mention that. I failed to mention that.
What do you say?
But he kind of gives you an overview of, okay, yeah, this is the type of ceremony this would be used for, and it is to be used to channel, for this one it's to channel greater wealth. This other, it kind of goes through a list of what these gems would do, but the main part of it is that these are used frequently in several different strains of kind of occultic practices to attempt to channel power.
I asked, I want to go talk to Laura.
and as you approach, he goes, I think I lost 2 sales while I was talking to you, but I think we've gotten rid of about 100 of them so far.
Oh, nice. And I proceed to explain that, like, those over there, though, those mating call ones, make sure that you put those in the front. Those are they're worth a little bit more money. You want to really try to push those.
Oh, those would be good because this is the love weekend.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Oh,
we
okay.
want to, yeah.
I will
be careful with those, though. That is not those mating call duck things. Those are not a toy. Okay. It's very, very serious. Do not abuse the mating call.
My wife is correct.
He's gonna kind of look around and he sees like a couple walking by holding hands, and he's gonna point and goes, "You, sir, you need a mating call, duck call. Trust me." And he winks.
Clearly, he's taking points in flattery.
All right. It's getting close to time where the Falconer's first show will be.
Oh, I want to go watch that.
Not quite that close, but the alcove will probably be filling up fairly good during that. Is there anything that y'all want to check out before then?
I'm a little suspicious of Cassandra. Can we keep tabs on her?
Sure. As you kind of look her way, she's out front again, and was saying, it was like, $10 to read your fortune, and then she looks at somebody, she goes, "You come inside."
I'd like to go to the restaurant and go to that balcony and just like look down.
That pub, yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
All right. So to get there, the stairway is actually inside the little shop, which so far is working out really well for the little shop, but also is a little bit of an annoyance that people are struggling to figure out how to get up there, not kind of connecting that it's just inside the shop and go upstairs. And so the bar has sent down somebody to kind of shoo people inside and away from the trinkets and upstairs to drink. So you kind of step into the shop first, and it is it is one of it is the biggest establishment here in this area, and has a pretty wide variety of things. So to the right is where this wooden stairway will go up and then reach a landing, then turn around and come back up into the bar area. Are you heading that way?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So once you get upstairs, you do see that like on the far side, which would kind of be the garden side, is where the actual bar is, and a little sealed off area where the kitchen is, and on the other side, which is the one near the stage, that's where things kind of open up into this balcony. There's a lot of it's kind of the long table and bench type seating arrangement, and there's several of those tables just inside, but also through the wide open doors onto this balcony, and then from there, it's actually built really well so that you get this just great view over onto the ship stage, onto the kind of like the Viking ship thing, where you'll people will be able to watch with a great view from there, and possibly get attacked by birds.
Is anybody on the stage right now?
No, not at this point.
Okay.
People are starting to file in because this is a popular show, and so like there's a few people that are going ahead and getting their seats, even though it's still a little bit of time before the Falconer gets there. Somebody from one of the waitresses will call to you in a really bad fake accent, go, "Hey, you won't take the drink then?"
I do, and I ask what they have.
We got beer and mead and ale in Coors Light and Shiner Bock.
To blend in, and because I'm feeling American Goddish in a way, I'll take some mead.
I will have the house water, please.
It's $7.
Is it $7, or are we talking about coupons?
It's $7. I would recommend the drinking fountain.
I will be right back. So he obviously asks Dr. Ford where to find the drinking fountain.
Yeah, it's you go down, you have to go back out. It's in the next zone, I think near the jousts.
Okay.
There are porta potties, and then there's the actual privy. Don't go to the privy. It's behind the porta potties.
Will do. I will be back.
Well, we just lost Norman for a good chunk of time.
I think we'll be all right.
I'm gonna have Dayton just map out the rest of the whole fair for me. So
I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
I've got almost all of it in my notes already. Looking out over the balcony, do we see anything interesting?
If you find Odin interesting, he's a nice guy, by the way.
We don't see like a giant rune scratched into the ground or anything.
It's like in Last Crusade, giant X on the
Right.
ground. That's where
That's
Dick...
exactly what Dayton is thinking.
No, none that you see.
Okay.
There are no clues up here. I don't know if we want a duck call, but just
My neighbors love me right now.
From up here,
are they used to you? Like, are they wondering? It's like,
I
no,
have a
that's
son
Jen.
that plays harmonica all night, every night, so they're fine.
So I just enjoyed my mead, just looking over this balcony, just like taking everything in.
Meat is good.
Nothing. Yeah, I'm particularly enjoying it. Is Odin going to come up to me now? And I am now like enwrapped in this journey across America to defeat the technological gods and all that good stuff. Is this what we're doing now? I have done the initiation. This has got to happen.
Wow. Yeah, keep trying to change the game. Mark, they tried to make it a courtroom drama a couple of adventures ago, even though I kept telling them, no, that's not the adventure.
Dude,
Get out of the court.
You set me up. You set me up.
Yeah.
You put mead on the dang menu. You said Odin was walking around. Naturally, I've got to go up, and after having my fortune read, I've got to drink the mead because it's got to happen to me now. This is the world you've set me up into.
This is Myron's hero journey.
Yeah. Now I'm just gonna stare longingly down from this balcony.
From this balcony, would we be able to maybe spot the sheriff? Because a question has come to Dayton's mind that he didn't think of when they were examining the body.
You can't see into the garden from here. You're facing the wrong way.
Yeah.
But you would be able to find the sheriff at any point without any trouble.
I do know that Myron examined the body, so maybe I could ask him. Did you happen to notice any bruising on the knuckles, any blood under the fingernails? I didn't think of it when we were in the garden, but I wonder if she put up a fight.
Would I have noticed that? Because I know you did say that there were some bruises, but
no, there were none. You looked,
Okay.
but there are none.
Okay.
Interesting.
Did she even struggle?
That makes me think perhaps she knew the person who assaulted her.
I wonder too if we could ask the sheriff if they did a talk screen on her, so that maybe she was drugged.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And yeah, you can do that. Are y'all heading out of that area?
Yeah, I suppose we head down and try and meet back up with Norman.
I was about to say I'm going to rejoin you at this juncture.
And I'm sure that the mead came in a plastic cup, so you can just walk around with it.
Absolutely.
Be careful, it attracts bees.
I will. I'll just hold on to it. I'll keep looking over at Odin, but
do other Ren fairs have that problem, or is that just us?
Is it just us? We have a bee
massive
problem.
bee problem at
And
Ren
if you
Fair.
walk around with
Every-
mead specifically,
Yeah.
they bother the hell out of you.
so why do bees keep showing up? They were enrolling through the realms, and now they're here. Why?
It's the universe. I don't
Yeah.
know. Synchronicities.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're gonna find Sheriff back in the garden. Norman's back, and he's gonna tell you that the talk screen came up negative. Nothing.
Okay.
No drugs, alcohol, anything.
No, nothing. Mm-mm.
Okay, all right. Interesting way to have fun at 2:30 in the morning, but I mean, I'm not gonna judge.
That's when she was
Um,
found, but remember, she's been there more than a day.
That's true. That's fair.
Right.
Okay.
So like, and it had to have been done nearby, because, like,
Yeah.
like they, said, like, it wasn't, the body wasn't moved far.
Right.
Did we look on the ground at the crime scene for like footprints or anything like that?
You did not, but you can.
Let's go back and do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. As you kind of look around, there are a couple of things that you find. One of the things that you find is a crystal kind of on a leather, a long leather cord that probably was used as a necklace or something, but it's been untied on the other end, and it was just kind of off in the brush. And you find several more of those gemstones. And as you look at those, they're and since we're all looking, we have, you have the skills to kind of notice this, is that all of the kind of small bruising on her skin at various places was probably these being pelted by these gems, and the strangulation could have been that necklace with the crystal on it.
Okay.
Should we alert the sheriff that we maybe found the murder weapon?
Yeah. Oh,
I kind of want to swab the necklace for DNA, but I won't go there.
Oh, God. When y'all make an arrest and then we have a trial to exonerate the person, then we'll do a DNA.
Let's wait. Let's not test the DNA now. Let's wait till after a conviction so we can.
Yeah.
That's how
And
we
then
do
we get to
things.
point fingers.
That's good. That's good defense strategy right there.
Yeah.
Let's get the
totally.
conviction first and save the good evidence till later.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Like, you want to make it a surprise.
Look, we can't give away all our cards pre-conviction.
I need a new attorney.
Yeah.
While they're showing this stuff to the sheriff, Dayton sort of scouts around the fences, the trees, to see if there are any more runes scratched in things, now that we know that they scratch runes into wood.
Yeah. And no, that's the only thing you see. And we can have a duck call.
Okay.
For the crime scene. Finally.
Mm. All right.
So still a lot of like interesting evidence.
Yeah. Just don't know where it leads to.
What if we go talk to some of the vendors, or not even go talk to them, but go like look at their shops to see if we find where these gems came from?
Yeah, I'm down with that. See if they're being sold here.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the only shop in the area that does carry that sort of thing is that main big shop, and they have like a few like just containers filled with kind of these various gems of various sizes and quality, some being just colored plastic and all.
They're probably busy enough that the employees wouldn't really take note of any individuals unless they were particularly strange.
Mm.
By the way, because this was brought up in chat, and half the time I can't hear the duck call. Can y'all hear it?
Really?
I was
Sometimes.
kind of wondering if it was just if it was high, and because I'm old, that's a frequency that I don't hear anymore, and I didn't want to bring attention to that. But like the last one, I didn't hear it all. I don't know
Paul,
if Zoom was.
It's a duck call, not a dog whistle.
I don't know if Zoom, like, if it gets too loud, Zoom cuts it out or something.
So
but-
that could be it, or my microphone, because I'm using my fancy one. I don't know. And I'm really close to it. So I'm sorry. Yeah, it's right here. So
Nice. I'm sorry. Okay, so I got distracted by the duck call.
Yeah. We've all been
It's-
distracted by the duck call.
happens to the best of us, Paul.
I mean, like
I was
literally
practicing
the
with my whistle all day too.
television was
Right,
literally
right.
distracted by it, and it was like seasons worth of Duck Dynasty. Okay, like we all know.
Maybe next time I'll like back away from the mic and see if that helps.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so I apologize. So yeah, in the shop there were gems of varying qualities, and I think somebody said something, but I got distracted.
Mm.
Oh, I just made an observation that there are a lot of people buying things.
Yep.
But we could talk to one of the sellers, one of the shop people.
Sure.
Oh, Mark, I thought you were going to say that we're battling the demon of capitalism here.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they do have
Ow.
runes for wealth and new beginnings.
Right,
so-
right.
How
So-
overpriced are these gems? I need
Yeah.
to know.
Oh, everything's overpriced.
$7 water.
$7 water, right?
Somebody, I mean, I'm just real suspicious of whoever had enough money to buy all these gems and then then threw them away.
Willy-nilly.
Like, what is this? Wasteful.
Um,
Hmm.
So yeah, so if you can get the attention of the owner, whose name is Hilda, and she's a bigger middle-aged woman, kind of no nonsense, but seems to be kind of be on top of everything as well. And she comes and she's like, yes, what can I do for you?
Hi, Hilda. I don't know if you've caught my show before, but
Yeah, the history guy. Yes, very good.
yes, thank you. We've been finding some stones around. I don't know if you heard about what happened last night.
You hear things.
I can't divulge too many details, but whoever did it may have dropped some stones, and this shop seems to be the one selling everything that was dropped. I was wondering if you may have noticed anybody strange purchasing a large quantity of crystals and gems sometime recently.
Well, today is the first day opening, but I just brought in the crystals this morning. So in the gems this morning. But there was one thing. Come over here. And you could go over to the kind of the other end, and
Mhm.
there's several just cans that are empty.
Mhm.
And you see a little like handwritten sign over these empty cans and saying wooden flowers. And and she says, these I brought in earlier in the week. I came in, I was dropping more stuff off yesterday. They were gone.
Do these flowers hold any sort of significance aside from being decorative?
No, No, they're. I hate to lose them on Love Weekend because this is where they go. You know,
I
they
can
go
imagine
very
they would have
quickly.
been a good seller.
Yeah, but no, they're just pretty gifts.
And I know this doesn't come up often, but you wouldn't happen to have any security in the area. Cameras.
No,
Most places around here don't. But
no,
okay.
just what the well, the Faire say they provide, but you know, if there's stuff happening back in the woods, kind of makes me wonder about all of it, right?
Mhm.
Have you had anything else come up missing?
That's the only thing I noticed.
Hmm.
Just given the search that we all do, is there anything else in this shop that stands out?
Not really. So there's a lot of I mean it's a lot of touristy stuff, you know.
Okay.
And so this is not like a shop that's designed for actual witchcraft or anything like that. This is a shop for, you know, people going to the Ren Fair that, you know, want to buy like a necklace with a crystal on it and think it's something important or something like that. And so, you know, there she has some books on various subjects. She's got some weird crystals and stuff like that. And you know, a lot of trinkets and you know, the official like Juniper County Ren Fair mug for the year that everybody collects and that sort of thing.
Oh, Norman's purchasing that.
Yeah, I haven't gotten mine yet. I've got a collection from the past few years.
Definitely purchasing one of those.
They're good. They hold up. Is it pewter?
I'm pleased. I'm
Yeah.
pleased.
Is it like $25?
Yeah.
I just look over at them and just sip my mead.
You know, if you buy one of these cups, they'll give you discounts on refills.
And I buy one immediately.
Oh, this is gonna be awesome. In part 2, we're gonna deal with drunk Myron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, for part 2, I'm dressing up and I'm buying a bottle of mead.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna quickly duck outside and look out for Odin.
It's a brave move.
Yeah, it is a brave move. I know.
We appreciate your time, Hilda.
I didn't hear the duck call. No, there's more clues here.
We are getting probably about the time of the Falconer. I put so much emphasis on the Falconer because this is the only thing I have to see at Renfest every single year.
All likes birds.
Yep.
Does that make Paul like a sad man? I'm still trying to figure out if
or is he the bad man behind the eyes? You know.
So like the first year I started playing Krethen on Dice and Dreary because Krethen has a falcon. I went and I videoed that section and sent it to Jeff, our DM, and it's like, okay, so this is how fast my falcon can go now.
So you did literal field research.
I did, yeah.
That is fascinating.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, now I have to know, is the Falcon show just a falcon or is it somebody with a bunch of other birds as well?
Yeah,
okay.
A bunch of birds.
So Odin's probably going to come in for the ravens.
Right, yes.
Okay, great.
I should mention that he's got like a 2 stuffed ravens that he'll sometimes just stick on his shoulders and walk around and
right, of course.
I'm going to finish off my mead and then I'm gonna go get another one because I remember the story and it took a few glasses of mead before anything happened. So yes, I go and get another one, and then I go back because I'm ready for the falconer.
Anything else you
Are
want
you
to?
are we gonna get a really descriptive, like are you gonna explain to us the entire show?
The whole episode. There's gonna be an
I'm
entire episode
here-
on the
Great.
on.
Good.
I'm
Gotcha.
here for very vivid descriptions of
Oh
all
my
the different
goodness.
kinds
Me
of
too.
birds. I want that, please.
I want that. I want the Foley work. I want it all. I want the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
We're all very serious about this.
Yes.
This has to happen.
This is the
Hold
most
on. We gotta
serious-
take a break while I research.
Yeah.
Birds.
Don't worry. We'll vamp. We'll vamp for a while.
As Paul types in bird in Google.
Bird.
Just bird.
Bird.
Mm.
Bird.
What's the
Bird
security
flying.
situation like at the Ren Fair?
Okay, so the not a ton. You know, they do have kind of security patrolling at night, both inside and out. But it's not, you know, it's periodic. It's not it's not anything that, like, you know, there's somebody there all the time. They do leave the lights on, you know, while there are people around at night. But security is better when it's not fair time, because then the outer gates get closed, and you know, there's still security, but they're focused more on the outer area. But it gets a little looser inside.
So good security in this case is a gate.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
The-
what I was going to say. Yeah.
The
Okay, I just want to make that clear.
Not
Yeah.
even an electrified case.
No.
the shops themselves, you know, are locked, you know, but or
So this would be revolutionary. Is there a padlock involved anywhere in this the gate situation here? I'd like to know, because that beefs up security just a little bit. Just unless you got, you know, Liam the lockpicking lawyer around.
he's in Canada.
How is he doing? He's in Canada.
He's in Canada.
Unfortunately, yes.
The shops have padlocks.
Okay.
But the gate
So-
does not.
The gate does not. Does it have a latch?
The gate is a good gate. It's
Does it even
has a
close
lock,
all
yes.
the way?
yeah.
I don't. You're not okay. You're a gate salesman right now, and you
Does
are
the
not
gates-
selling me on this gate. Like
Does
The
it have
date,
one of-
yeah.
One of
Does
those
the-
little things in the bottom
Yeah.
that go in
Yeah.
the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the gate squeaky? Like, is it
Oh,
even
yeah.
well oiled at this point? Oh.
Okay.
So what you're saying is, like, anyone, anywhere, a child, a toddler could have just committed a murder.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a toddler. You figured it out. Crap.
Well,
Now we're
it's
gonna
been
do
fun.
for part 2.
It's been
it
fun.
was Maggie Simpson all along. That's
See you guys around.
Yep.
It's over. Goodbye.
You have knocked off all of our videos again.
Did I really? I really apologize.
I saw that comment. I really did.
I figured if I was in the top spot, it'd be fine.
No, you
Yeah.
had to be first.
I'm gonna start putting you last just for that.
Who am I now?
You're me.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, what if this, Paul? You should
I
have played
am
this up. This
Normand
is,
now.
Paul, this is a body swap. Yeah.
Well, now you have to play each other's characters for the rest. No,
Yes.
please don't, because I have to edit this to be scary, and y'all are not. I'll never make that easy.
Well, I truly apologize, Paul. I didn't know that it
Oh,
would
you're
screw
fine.
everything up.
You're fine. You're driving Raven at crazy, but
All right. So
So about this gate. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm ready for the show. I want the show now.
What kind of music are we? Does the bird show have music or no?
Don't have music.
Oh dang!
There's no music. There's no like Trans-Siberian Orchestra kind of like situation here. Just like going. I have like. You remember in the last adventure when we tried to turn it into a Pink Floyd laser light show?
Yes,
I'm
yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
trying to do it again with the Falconer, and I see how it is.
Yeah. So like as far as music goes, there's like a harp player like a little bit off in the distance, and he's playing like a medieval version of the Joker,
Okay.
Steve Miller.
Okay.
And
there we
so
go.
he's like going, thou dost call me Maurice.
Well, at least we have a fun bard here. That's great. That is the greatest. I won't be able to get that visual out of my head. Amazing.
All right. You're going to go watch the show now.
We are.
Paul really wants us to. Should we?
This whole adventure has turned into we can't find anything. Let's have some mead and watch a show.
This is going to be 3
it's the Ren
sessions
Fest.
now.
So I'm going to duck out of the show.
Pun intended.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna. Yeah. Quack quack. I'm going to duck out of this. There we go.
I heard that one.
Excellent.
Myron makes those noises exactly, and he's going to just keep an eye out. Just for anything unusual, seeing if anybody's doing some crazy stuff.
Specifically Odin.
Odin will be on my mind. Like, that song, You Were Always on My Mind by Willie Nelson? Well, I'm thinking about that, but it's about Odin. And just keeping an eye out for anything strange.
Do you see Marisol? Does he see Marisol?
No, he has not.
Okay.
All right. Well, are y'all going to the bar, to the balcony, or are you gonna go in the main?
We'll go see your stupid bird show.
I feel like
Bird show's the best.
I'll stick to the balcony just to keep an eye out for things.
My wife and I are gonna go to the bird show.
Well, sometimes they send the birds up to the balcony.
Mm-hmm.
I should say that in character. Sometimes they send the birds up to the balcony, so it is a good spot to see the show. They may land on you. If you're afraid of birds, probably not good, but
I think I'll be all right. Will they let me pet them?
they won't be on your arm long enough for you to pet them.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. Okay, so there's a little bit of a crappy PA system fanfare, and Fritz the Falconer comes out, and he's he's dressed in the appropriate garb, and he's got the cool giant leather glove, and he's kind of riling everybody up and making bird puns, and
I imagine everyone in the crowd has duck calls at this point because I'm selling out of these things like crazy, and so we're all just giving him the duck call treatment.
And
and he's going, please do not do the duck calls. That is very dangerous with the birds. Please, just no, you sir.
And I say they're not a toy. It's not a toy.
So thank you up there. Thank you. Let the duck.
And then some idiot calls out Freebird.
You gotta.
Yeah.
And so he starts his show, and he's showing off several of the birds and that he has, and explaining stuff about him. He starts off with these just very, very cool and big owls, and one of them he explains they found hurt, and he can't fly, but you kind of watch as they like put some food on the ground, and he like the owl like just like starts hopping on the ground, like scurrying over to grab it, but the other one flies up to the balcony, and as soon as it does, Lore does the duck call, trying to sell it to somebody, and the bird kind of squawk, half hoots, and comes down, and Fritz seems very annoyed at that, but he starts yelling. He's like, "Can you somebody get that guy? Just tell him to stop it!" And and he continues, and he shows off some like a couple of hawks, and he does have a falcon that he shows. The falcon's especially cool because it's my favorite. And it has he sends it up to the top of the tavern, and spins his little leather thing, and the falcon comes down and swoops down. It's just like blinding fast, and it's very cool. And he eventually gets to some of, as I go to my notes, some of his like scavenger birds, and starts pulling out some just big hulking vultures. And it is at that time, Myron, that you catch sight of Marisol walking with two other women about her age, and late 20s, and coming in into the area from below. And you're watching Odin, and it's a good thing you did, because Odin is like walking right by these women, and she seems to be just kind of walking into the general area. Not you're not quite sure where she's headed quite yet. Back on stage, but are you heading down? Are you trying to get anybody's attention? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm gonna head down.
Are you telling anybody else, or?
I will. I'll just like quickly, yell to my comrades. Marisol, come on.
Yeah, I add something minor.
Yeah.
Can it be that he's showing off these latest birds and has one of them swoop up to somebody's arm, and there's like a little message on that where since it's Love Weekend, somebody proposing to another person.
Oh,
and then
that's awesome! Yeah.
And everybody just like starts cheering, and then she turns her head to see what people are cheering about, and that's when she gets spotted.
Yeah, I like that. So like everybody's like kind of excited and standing up, where Myron is like, no, get out of the way, and trying to kind of push down, and Fritz, as the excitement is brought down, has brought out this massive vulture that he explains is called a bearded vulture, and it's just this huge bird, and he pulls out these chicken bones, and explains that this is actually this animal actually eat bone, and he kind of puts it to the side. And are all y'all heading down?
I'm enraptured with the birds. I'm sorry.
I think I would head down.
Yeah, I'm gonna head down.
Okay.
Be safe, wife.
All right. And so Misty's watching him like put these putting these chicken bones out in a pile, and he's had the vulture's eyes covered, and he's kind of hidden them under under a cup and put like several other cups out. And he's like, watch this. This is amazing. They can. He's gonna be able to find it right away. And it pulls the thing off the bird's head, and it makes a beeline, not for the cups at all, but for kind of the center of this stage, and just starts scraping scraping at it. And so this the stage has it's kind of made to look from the outside like this Viking ship, but it is not wooded on the center, but it just has sod there. And Fritz is saying, it's like, no, go to the cup. And as the bird is digging, all of a sudden it pulls something out of the ground, and as y'all are cutting across the way to see Marisol, you hear a scream from within as this bird pulls a human femur out of the ground. And that is where we will pause.
I knew it. I knew the bird thing. I knew the bird thing was going to screw us. We should have just taken a nap and waited for the bird thing and cut this down a while.
Yeah, that's fair. Damn birds, you just.
All right. Well, we will. We'll figure out. Y'all are a bit over halfway through, so.
Okay.
I know it never feels like it.
No, it never does.
We're always like, wait, we're almost done. We're still so confused.
Right. Like a Phoenix Wright mystery, we just can't always know how far along we are.
So we'll figure out when we can get together again to finish things up, and as we're gonna stop the stream, it's like I really appreciate everybody joining us, and I was trying to answer people in chat. Unfortunately, this is like the serious podcast that I do, and so there's not. I try to respond in chat, but really do appreciate everybody joining us. And before we go, to remind everybody, check the channel points. You can enter to win the book of Unremitting Horror that we will draw next stream. And this has some amazing monsters in it that we will be fighting in the near future. Possibly.
Also, don't forget about the Paul Haters fan club. We
don't tell about the meeting though. No, we'll communicate the meeting in other avenues.
Yeah, we've got we're gonna get Desdemona to work on a logo for this thing, and
oh gosh. If y'all want to remind everybody about your podcasts, and we could start with Mark. I really appreciate you guesting today, and
yeah, thanks for having me. It's a lot of fun. I am Mark. I run Coruscant Nights, a noir Star Wars podcast, and The Other Place, a homebrew fantasy show using the Genesis system. You can find them anywhere you get your podcasts, or find them both at nightcastcreative.com.
Nice. And I thought I was going to go in reverse stream order, but everybody's in a different order now. So Brian, you want to go ahead?
Sure. DoubleDensity.net and The Coda. You can find that on all podcasting platforms. Also, Brian with an I, Hastie, over on Twitter. Though this week I've probably been on Twitter for a total 10 minutes. So if you need to harass me, fax me, I guess. I don't know.
There is a I did find a website.
He ignores his facts too.
Yeah, I did find a website that you can send anonymous faxes to people.
Oh
wow.
So yeah, we'll have to make utilize that at some point.
Chat asks, how much are the dues for the Paul Hater Club?
We will confer, but you know, I think 1995, like, you know, the old school clubs is probably the price point we want to hit. You know, I mean, daddy needs to buy a Tesla, I guess. But yeah, in 1995 for right now. We're gonna you know, roll this out you know, within the next couple of weeks. We've got some merchandising opportunities. We're gonna put this on a shirt. You better believe we are.
Also,
Alternatively,
go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
Alternatively, you could leave a review for every single podcast that each one of us is on or runs, and then we waive the fee.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, just
Also,
just a
every
review,
single
or
podcast.
they got to be 5-star, right?
They have to be 5-star.
Yeah,
They don't
I
count
mean,
otherwise.
And you also have to dunk on Paul in the review.
Also, the theme of this month's newsletter is like birds that suck.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot of hot takes about birds in there.
Yeah, there will be a hot take about how this is not becoming an American Gods plotline, and
You don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just got to watch that show.
Read the book. It's
book.
less problematic.
I read the book when it first, soon after it first came out, and I've forgotten most of it. I need to reread it. It was
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
It's longer now. He added like more to it, like 10,000 words.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yep.
Right. Oh man. Rob?
Yes, I am the host of the Our Strange Skies podcast archive, the co-host of the Coda, and the dungeon master for Rolling Through the Realms. And
soon to be what did we call Hogar and Lynn, Dwarves for Justice?
Oh, yes, yes.
What is my character's name?
Hefrimler.
Hefrim and Helen, Dwarves for Justice.
Dwarves for
Spin-off.
Justice. It's the spin-off.
I am here for this
podcast.
spin-off. Yes.
Yeah. No, they will be the crime-fighting duo that Icewind Dale has always needed.
Do you need a chef?
Yes, absolutely. Dave Sizzlepan is invited.
But just be all the NPCs from the main show. Well,
yeah. We're gonna assign.
You know, it was never explained, Dave Sizzlepan. Like, who actually does the foot massages in Dave's Barbecue and Foot Rubs?
It's a wheel that gets spun.
So like one of the ideas that I had is because Dave Sizzlepan is like such an accomplished chef that when he has people seek him out, and he has interns. The interns do the foot massages so they can learn to work.
Yeah, it's a whole system. Yeah.
Well, you really perfected that aroma.
Yeah, he did.
So.
He totally did.
Rolling Through the Realms, everyone. Go
listen to it. You'll meet one of the best NPCs ever, Dave Sizzlepan.
I'm right here.
But can you cook?
They
Paul?
haven't met you yet, Paul. Calm down. And honestly,
Rob.
you know what? After they meet you, they're going to be dealing with like a heartbreaking amount of depression after that last session.
The trauma was real.
The trauma was real. You can actually hear it in the stream.
Speaking
in the session, you're just like everybody's like quiet.
I mean, speaking of Love Weekend, that
was bad.
That was
like at one point we realized what was going on, and like everyone just went, oh. And then you're gonna have to deal with that at some point. Coming soon on Rolling Through the Realms. You'll know what we're talking about.
Jen, go ahead so we can let people go home.
All right. I am Jen. I am the co-host of Vanished. I am the creator of In Defense of Liberty, and I am a player on Rolling Through the Realms.
Yes, this is true.
Awesome. Well, so okay, if you haven't followed, please do follow. We're join the Discord. That will get you another entry into the book, and we'll also let y'all know when the next stream of this is going to be. But we will be streaming Star Wars soon and Final Fantasy soon as well. So hope to catch y'all then. But I appreciate it, and we will catch y'all on stream later.